Hello, welcome to Basic TCM presented by Lamb AccuWellness Foundation Inc. The topic on this video is about yin and yang relationships. This is a picture of yin and yang in absolute balance in every organ, every cell of the body. This almost never occurs except during a transitory stage. Yin and yang are ever changing their state, always relating to each other, thus changing the state of the organs in the body as well. In the morning after sleep and a good breakfast, our energy state may be like this. But then we start to work or to be active, and our yang increases to create functional energy. The blood and yin decrease as they give up the stored nutrients to fuel the functional energy. At the end of 4 hours of work, our yin blood decrease according to use and we feel tired, hungry and thirsty. After eating a big lunch and dessert, we are too full of food, yin, to go on being active and feel lethargic, sleepy, and lazy. A disease is an imbalance between the yin and the yang. The normal imbalances in everyday living, hunger, tiredness, fullness after eating, excitement, are quickly balanced by eating, resting, or exercising. But imbalances of disease do not get corrected that easily. They are more prolonged and need to be corrected with treatment, diet, and change in lifestyle. For example, a patient with hyperthyroid function is often hungry, hot, sweaty, and tired. But this does not improve with eating or rest. This imbalance is that of a disease. Therefore, treatment of the disease would be to balance the energies. This can be performed by acupuncture, diet and herbal medicine taken internally, exercise, relaxation, and a change in lifestyle. Therefore, in Chinese medicine, the diagnosis of a disease means to find the imbalance in the relevant organs or in the body. The treatment, therefore, is the balancing of this state back to normal. There are 8 imbalanced states of yin and yang, the principle of energy balance. Energy imbalances result in disease. Disease states can be classified into acute, chronic, and subacute recurrent states. For example, a pain with a yang dominant nature, sharp, severe, pulsating, radiating pain that is worse during activity or due to other yang causes, simply means that the imbalance causing the pain is a yang dominant state. As you can see, there are 3 yang dominant states. But how do we decide which of these 3 yang dominant states our particular patient is in? We should ask the patient 3 basic questions. Number 1, where is your pain? Answer would point to the meridian or organ we should be treating or balancing. Number 2, describe your pain. How is the pain? When do you have pain? Worsens with what? Improves with what? This gives idea if this was yin or yang dominant problem. Number 3, how long have you been having this pain? The answer would help us to decide if we have acute pain, the excess state, or chronic disease, deficiency, or subacute or recurrent disease, which is both excess and deficiency. Once we have made this diagnosis, we could balance organ or meridian by sedating or reducing yang in the first case, yang excess, tonifying or increasing the yin and sedating the yang in the second imbalance, and tonifying yin only in the third case. As all diseases of yang nature are caused by imbalance in energy, where yang is dominant to yin, this does not automatically mean that yang is in excess or that yin is less than normal energy level. Whether there is excess or deficiency compared with normal level has to be decided by the fact if it is acute or chronic. If the disease state is new, this is considered to be excess state, called acute states from now on. There is excess of yang in a yang disease, excess of yin in a yin disease. The three diagrams that you see show three possibilities in acute excess situation. A disease state which has been going on or gradually worsening for more than 6 months is chronic state, where a considerable amount of energy has been consumed. Therefore, a deficiency state, which is yin deficiency in yang disease, yang dominant to yin, yang deficiency in yin disease, yin dominant to yang, deficiency of both yin and yang would produce both yin and yang symptoms. Pain worsening with rest and activity, asthma during hot and cold weather. These three imbalances are illustrated below. In transition between acute and chronic states, there is intermediate subacute state, where excess side consumes the opposite side, thus causing deficiency in that side. For example, high fever could cause dryness, or extreme humid weather can cause sluggish blood and fluid circulation. The resulting states would look similar to this. A chronic state is where either yin or yang energy is deficient. This also means that the energy that is in a weaker position would not be able to control the other side effectively. The dominant side, therefore, can increase from time to time, thus causing several semi-acute states. Recurrent migraine headaches, which are provoked by too much stress, light, or alcohol, which are all yang causes, would be a good example of yang rising from time to time on a yin deficient base. Recurrent asthma with excessive mucus or fullness of the chest in wet and cold weather would be a good example for yin or damp increasing from a yang or qi deficiency situation. The changes are always predictable because a chronic yin deficient state can only lead to yang increase from time to time and vice versa. In energy balancing treatments, the diagnosis is half the treatment because we decide the points accordingly. Acute conditions must be sedated. If yang is excess, sedate the yang. If yin is excess, sedate yin. If both are excess, sedate both yin and yang, or sedate whichever increased first. Chronic conditions need to be tonified. If yang is deficient, tonify the yang. If yin is deficient, tonify the yin. And if both are deficient, tonify both. When both yin and yang are in excess, it is often because one side increased initially and the other side reacts to this increase by increasing itself as well. This reaction is possible as this is a recent disease state and both energies are still healthy. It will not be possible for the opposite side to react with an increase in itself if the disease state is subacute or chronic, as this side would have become weaker over time. Subacute states need both tonification and sedation. In hyperactive yang, tonify yin and sedate the yang. In stagnation of yin, tonify yang and sedate the yin. In recurrent states with chronic history, the treatment is different depending on whether we treat during the acute phase or at the interval. At the interval, treatment is only to tonify the deficient aspect, whereas during the acute phase, they could be treated like in a subacute state. Therefore, an increase of both yin and yang with symptoms of both energies can be treated with sedation of the energy that increased initially. When this is sedated, the reacting side will decrease of its own accord, as it will not be necessary for it to oppose any excess. An example for this would be feeling hot and sweating excessively. If the yang can be sedated and the body is cooled, there would be no sweating. Both yin and yang are always within each entity, and they always relate and react to each other. This reaction generally follows a predictable pattern. Knowing this pattern helps to treat the patient's problems with a view to its possible changes. Acupuncture is based on the way of nature, on wisdom achieved through many years of observation of nature and human life and its changes. The understanding of yin and yang and their interrelationship will help us observe, predict, prevent, and treat symptoms of disease in their changing phases. These relationships are contradiction, interconsumption, control, and intertransformation. All of these relationships shall be discussed in detail on our next videos. Thank you very much for your attention and hope to see you on our next videos.